Somewhere near you, right now, there is a photo of a watch. An ad you scrolled past this morning. I have never seen it, and I can still tell you what time it shows. 10 past 10. Almost every watch ad on Earth. Same little V. But here's the strange part. Ask an AI to draw a clock. Any clock, anytime you want. 3:45, it draws 10 past 10, half past 7, 10 past 10. The smartest image machines ever built are frozen at 1 minute of one imaginary day. So why can a 6-year-old do what a $1 trillion machine cannot? The answer starts with a 100-year-old sales trick, and it ends somewhere much stranger. The obvious answer is that AI is just bad at small details. But that cannot be right. These machines paint single eyelashes, reflections in raindrops, individual blades of grass. Details are the one thing they are good at. To find the real answer, you have to look at how these machines learn to see. In 2022, a research group called Leon released the training set behind the biggest image generators. 5.8 billion pictures, each one glued to a caption. A system called Clip, built at OpenAI in 2021, learned to connect the two. Word to picture, picture to word, billions of times. After enough repetitions, the machine has an idea of what the word clock looks like. 5.8 billion is not a number a human can check. Nobody read those captions. Nobody curated those clocks. Whatever patterns hide inside the pile, the machine inherits. All of them, including the ones nobody noticed, were patterns. But notice what that idea actually is. It is not a mechanism. It is not hours and minutes. It is the average of every clock photo the internet ever took. Which raises a question almost nobody asks. What does the average photo of a clock look like? Because when you ask for a clock at 3:45, the generator does not look anything up. It starts with pure noise, like TV static. Then it nudges the pixels, step by step, toward its idea of clock. And its idea of clock has the hands already baked in. To answer that, we have to leave the machines completely. We have to visit a photo studio in the middle of the last century, where somebody's about to make a decision that will quietly infect the internet. But here's what's fascinating. That decision was about a smile. Set a watch to 10 past 10 and look at it. The hands make a V, symmetrical, open, pointing up. Advertisers noticed that it looks like a smile. Set it to 8:20, and the same watch looks like a frown. Early ads actually used that time. Salespeople hated it. The frown died, and the smile took over the entire industry. Photographers had practical reasons too. The V leaves the brand name clean and visible under the 12. It balances the face. It feels open instead of closed. Smart people made a smart choice. Nobody imagined a machine would one day take it literally. And this is not folklore. It is written policy. Timex photographs its watches at 9 minutes and 36 seconds past 10. Rolex shoots at 10, 10, and 31 seconds, down to the second. The hands frame the logo under the 12, and the face smiles at you. Walk through any airport, scroll any shopping site. 10 past 10, 10 past 10, 10 past 10. For 70 years, almost every professional photo of a watch has been staged at the same minute. Now, connect the two halves of this story. The machine learned what a clock is by averaging the internet's photos. And the internet's photos are a 70-year advertising campaign for one specific time. So, inside the machine, clock and 10 past 10 are the same idea. You can test this tonight. Ask any image generator for a clock showing 3:45. Watch it agree with you. And then, watch it draw the smile anyway. Some newer tools get it right after a try or two. Keep going. Ask for a second clock, then a third. The smile always comes back. But that's only half the story. And honestly, what comes next is even stranger. Drawing clocks is one thing. Surely the machine can at least read one. In 2025, researchers at the University of Edinburgh ran exactly that exam. Rohit Saxena and his team showed the world's top AI models simple pictures of analog clocks. Nothing tricky, just faces and hands. Then they asked one question: what time is it? The study was called Lost in Time. The best models got the time right less than a quarter of the time, a skill most humans lock in by age 7. They tried everything: ordinary clocks, Roman numerals, faces with no numbers at all. Accuracy collapsed the moment a face looked slightly unusual. The models were not reading hands. They were recognizing familiar photos. Show them a clock the internet never photographed, and the guessing begins. And the wrong answers were not close. Models announce times that do not exist. Hands pointing at nothing. Minutes past 60. If you watched our video about hands, you have seen this disease before. The machine that draws 6 fingers is the machine that reads impossible times. It sees handish. It sees clockish. Thin lines near a circle with numbers around the edge. The vibe is perfect. The mechanism is missing. Because reading a clock was never about seeing. It is a calculation. 2 angles. 1 rotation. 60 little steps. Your brain runs that math without asking you. The model does not run anything. It remembers pixels. And no amount of remembering becomes understanding. Remember how these systems paint. 1 small patch at a time. A clock hand is 2 thin lines, and the meaning lives in the angle between them. Move a hand 5 degrees and every patch still looks perfect. Only the whole answer is wrong. And nothing in the machine is in charge of the whole. So the fix sounds obvious. Feed it more clocks. Millions of clocks. Every time on every face, right? Here's the problem. Those photos do not exist. The internet is not a camera pointed at reality. It is a mirror of what humans bother to photograph. And humans photograph the smile. There is no giant library of clocks reading 4:53, lovingly labeled 4:53. The bias is not in the machine. It is in us. Which means every generator trained on the open internet inherits the same frozen minute. Different companies, different models, same smile. When the training water is shared, every well tastes the same. And here's the part nobody talks about. Companies know. So they generate fake training clocks by the million and bolt the patch on. The demos improve, the benchmark rises. Then the Edinburgh team asked the same models a calendar question. What weekday is the 153rd day of the year? They failed that too. The failure did not disappear. It moved, exactly like it did with hands. Now think about how you learned this. You were about 6. Somebody stood at a board with a cardboard clock and moved plastic hands. You saw 1 clock, maybe a few dozen times, and something clicked that has never unclicked. You did not memorize photos of times. You installed the mechanism, a little wheel turning in your head that maps angles onto your whole day, which is why you can read a watch with no numbers, a clock reflected in a window, a tower clock at a weird angle in the rain. You have never seen that exact clock before, and you are never wrong. You run this trick all day without noticing. A glance at a station clock while walking. A watch upside down on a nurse's uniform. Half a second. Done. No caption taught you that. A mechanism did. The machine has seen more clocks than every human in history combined. You saw 1 cardboard clock in a classroom, and you win every single time. Seeing everything is not the same as knowing one thing. That is the real gap, not pixels, not data. A 6-year-old with a cardboard wheel holds a model of time in their head. The machine holds a photograph of a smile. And you cannot patch your way from one to the other. Tonight, an ad will slide past your thumb, a beautiful watch, smiling its frozen smile. Now you know why it smiles. And you know that the machine that drew it still cannot tell you the time. Last time, we learned you have never had to count your own fingers. Add this one to the list. you have never had to think about 10 past 10. And once you know the shape of this failure, you start seeing it everywhere. Because clocks are not special. They are just the easiest place to catch it. Ask for dice. Count the pips. Ask for a guitar and count the strings. Ask for a keyboard and try to type your own name on it. Every one of these is the same test. Something with a fixed, countable structure that humans learn as a rule and the machine learns as a picture. The pattern is brutally consistent. If a thing is defined by how many, the machine struggles. If it is defined by how it looks, the machine sails through. It is a master of texture and a stranger to counting, which is a strange sentence to write about the most powerful pattern machines humans have ever built. And here's the part that should stay with you. You only catch these mistakes because you happen to know the rule. You know a clock has 12 hours. You know a hand has 5 fingers. So the error jumps out. Now think about every image you scroll past on a subject you do not know, a machine part, a plant, a chart, a place you have never been. The same failure is probably sitting right there, and nothing in your head raises its hand. That is the real lesson of the frozen watch. Not that AI is stupid, it plainly is not. It is that its confidence is perfectly flat. It looks exactly as sure when it is right as when it is inventing a 14th hour. The machine has seen every clock on the internet. It just does not know what time it is.